everybody. Happy New Year. It is officially the first day of 2025. And it is the last episode of season 1 of Pretty in Progress. If you are a new listener, hi, my name is Tati. This is my cutesy little podcast called Pretty in Progress. And you are listening to the last episode of season 1. But don't you worry, there will be a season 2 coming. And if you are a returning listener, hi, welcome back. It's good to see your pretty face. And I hope everybody had an amazing holiday season, an amazing Christmas, and a New Year's. I have been traveling for the last, I think it's been like 15 days in Europe for the holidays. We left on December 18th. We've made a few stops in a few different places. The first place we went to was Florence, and I had been to Florence a long time ago actually, but I didn't really get to experience Florence or see Florence how I would have anticipated or liked to. But this time, like, I really got to experience Florence, like I would say would be the first time. It was, the city itself is so beautiful, and the art, I got to go see the statue of David, the famous Michelangelo statue. We went to the Uffizi Gallery, and we went into the cathedral, which is like one of the biggest cathedrals in the world. I think it's like the 4th biggest cathedral ever. And then we went to Paris to celebrate Christmas. We got there on Christmas Eve and spent Christmas and a few days there, and it was amazing until I got sick. Yes, I got sick during my trip to Paris. It started with a sore throat and then like a little one, and then it turned into really bad congestion, sinuses, body aches to the max, and I'm still recovering from it. I still have a slight cough. My mom, like yesterday, I had woken up with another sore throat, basically. So my mom, luckily who was a doctor, she bought like some needles and meds and had to give me a shot so I could actually start feeling better, because I was like, the meds that I was taking was not doing anything for me. Overall, Paris, I had a really good time though. We obviously did some shopping. We went to some really nice restaurants. We really enjoyed it. It was really, really good. And then now we're in Madrid, Spain, where we came to celebrate New Year's. I'm going to honestly say that where we had reserved to celebrate New Year's was not what we expected. It was, I would say, very not a great recommendation, unfortunately. So it was definitely not the New Year's party that I or even my family was expecting, which will be another story time for later. But yeah, this is our last day in Madrid, and tomorrow we leave to Milan for our last few days. And then on Sunday, today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, we go to Milan, and on Sunday we finally go back home, and I cannot wait to be home. Something that I've learned about myself is that I really don't like traveling for that long during the holidays. Like, I much rather be back at home, like by my Christmas tree. I don't know, I just, waking up in a hotel room is just not like the Christmas vibes for me. And maybe especially being gone for as long as we've been gone for. I think this is the longest that we've been gone for the holidays. We used to do like very short trips. Well, we would do like, let's say like New York for like 4 days to celebrate Christmas, and then come back to LA before to celebrate New Year's with the rest of our family. But you know, a lot of people are doing obviously different things for Christmas, or everyone's a little scattered. We have a really big family, so everybody's doing like different things, and you know, you find what you want to do. But I don't know, like, I've just learned that I'm not somebody who really likes to travel for long periods of time during the holidays. Like, one day I when I move out or when I'm married, I definitely want to like host Christmas dinner or host New Year's, one of those, because I want to have like all my family there. Like, I don't want to be away from my extended family. I'm obviously with my parents and my sister, and we're obviously enjoying ourselves and our time. But I do like miss my cousins. I do like miss all of my extended family. Also, I want to reiterate, I am so grateful that I get to travel the world and I get to see all these amazing places, and because I know there's a lot of people out there who don't get to see that. I just want to reiterate, I don't want to sound ungrateful. I don't want to sound like a brat. I swear I'm not. I just think that when I travel for the holidays, I just want it to be on a shorter time period. Summertime, I don't care. Summertime, take me away from LA as long as possible. I do not care. Summer, I could be gone for a month, 2 months, and I'd be like amazingly happy. I kind of wanted to go step back and like look back at this year. This year was filled with like such amazing memories and so many amazing things. One of the things being that I felt like I've really grown as a person. I've have a lot of self growth and self discovery and um, self motivation. Not because like I just found it just by myself, but I think through other people. Like they really helped me along the journey, like friends, family, they really kind of helped me guide and find my way and come to realize what makes me happy, and what makes me happy is what I should be working hard towards. So, something that I've kind of learned in 2024, and this might be a controversial topic, but some girlies like me are not built for the 9 to 5. And when I say that, it's because what I mean by that is like I don't think I'm somebody who's built to like sit in a desk and just like rot my life away from 9 to 5. I truly, that's not meant for me. And I had to kind of like learn to accept that doesn't make me happy. And if anything, that declines my health. In the beginning of the year, I was working at a corporate job because I felt like that's something I needed to do, and it was like a job that I thought I was going to do like more hands-on stuff, but it didn't really turn out that way. My health like declined within like the first month of working there. My period had stopped coming for 2 months. I was so concerned, was having major fatigue. Like it felt like my body was at a zero every single day. And mind you, I would get up early, I would work out, I was like, really on top of my health. But the math was not mathing, because at the end of the day I felt horrible. I went to a holistic doctor. I did so many tests on myself to see what is going on with me, and he saw that like my adrenaline levels were really low, my estrogen was really low, and I guess like I like and my cortisol levels were lower than normal. Like your cortisol levels are supposed to be low, but like not exceptionally low as how mine was. So yeah, my health was declining, and I remember this whenever I worked at another corporate job where actually I worked from home. But even working from home, like, and I was working like 10 hours a day, and on top of that, I was going to school. At the time, I was actually doing TikTok. Like this was back in like 2000. Like this was like back in 2021. You could tell in my videos I was super skinny. Like I was sickly skinny. I did not look good. I looked sick. Like my face was very gaunt, and like I looked like my body looked like it was a 12-year-old's body. It looked really insane. All due to stress, because like I was going to school, waking up really early to go to school, driving all the way to like Marina Del Rey, which is like towards LAX, coming back and then working like a 10-hour, sometimes 12-hour shift. Yeah, it was just, I just come to realize that like sometimes the 9 to 5 is not meant for me. If it is the 9 to 5, it has to be something like I have to be creative. I have to be like hands on doing something, making something. Like I am a creative. I am not somebody meant to sit on a desk. And that's just something that I've like learned to accept, is that I'm somebody who likes to be creative and making stuff and doing what I love, because social media is something that I've learned that this is like my passion and this is like my love, and that is something that requires for me to always be hands on doing stuff. And after I had left my 9 to 5, after I left my corporate job, that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to take things into my own hands, and I'm going to start doing social media management. I'm going to do this on my own, because I was working at a social media marketing agency prior to that. And obviously, because I started a new job, I had to leave that job. Which, again, I have to thank Jasmine and Ani, I hope they're listening to this. I have to thank them for that, because they're the ones who taught me all about social media management. And they pretty much helped me find what I'm good at. Like, they helped me, like, click in my brain and make me realize that I'm good at this. I'm good at doing this on my own. Why not help others who are not good at this, who have a business, who need content creators and social media managers, and do it for their businesses and get paid for it and make this your career, and at the same time that can be on your own schedule where you don't have to clock in and clock out. It's you are responsible for everything, and that's something that I've really, again, with the self-growth part, I've learned to be responsible for my clients, because when I start to rack up clients, that means I have to be responsible for them, for my money management, my savings, my the work that I do. It's like wanted to make sure that they have my full trust. And I'm so blessed with the clients that I have, because they truly trust me with the work that I give them. My first ever solo client was actually the girl who does my Botox and injections. It's Evelyn, who is at Refinery Skin. When I started the corporate job, like, we had to end our contract, which is totally okay, because her receptionist, who is also a good friend of mine, was gonna do it for her anyways. Karina has been my longest staying client, and I just want to thank her for sticking by me and really trusting me with her social media page. And first of all, I want to say how proud I am of her for all the accomplishments that she has made as not only a small business owner, but she's also a dance teacher. She's a therapist. She was going to school. She was doing like 4 or 5 different things at once. And towards the end of the year, it became really busy for her, because she had a lot of collaborations with other businesses with her leggings line. So, and guys, if you haven't worn Karina's leggings yet, you need to go purchase that right now. It is the best leggings that you will ever buy, and I'm not biased because she's my client. Literally, you are spending way too much on Lululemon and Alo if you think that those are like good leggings. Absolutely not. Her leggings are no more than like 50 $40 and she always does sales, and they hug you in all the right places. No limb pickup, no camel toe, and you could wash it as many times as you can. It will not wear out in the wash. I swear to God, these leggings are made of steel. They're bulletproof. Amazing. So, and I can't wait to see what 2025 has to bring for her and her business. And I'm, again, as her social media manager, I'm so proud of her. And yeah, I think we're coming up to like 1 year almost together, working, me being her social media manager. I've also had other clients that I've got the pleasure to be their social media managers for. I've gotten to be a social media manager for a law office, for an aesthetics nurse, two aesthetics nurses. What else? And I've done a lot of like side projects as well. So I've really been enjoying the process this last year of growing my business as a freelancer. And another thing is being very mindful with my money now. I used to be a horrible, horrible, mindless spender. And I will say that with my full heart. I did not know how to manage my money. There were so many times my balance was at a negative and it was terrible. So now that I became more responsible with my clients, I've also become responsible with my money management, which I'm very proud to say. And I want to hit like certain goals when it comes to my savings, because I'm so privileged again that I get to live with my parents. I don't have to pay rent anywhere. But as far as like paying for other things on my own, just learning to spend what's needed and not what's wanted. So, a lot of things that I cut back on. I stopped buying coffee from outside. I make coffee from home now. I don't buy coffee. And truly, like, coffee from outside is so disgusting to me now. I don't enjoy buying coffee from outside a lot of the time. I truly like my homemade coffee. I used to be like a mindless shopper through like Zara, Sephora, all that. I've cut that like almost like 80%. And especially at Erewhon, I was a horrible, horrible spender at Erewhon. There's no reason for me to go to Erewhon all the time. I use it more as like a treat here and there, like maybe like once or twice a month, but not like on a weekly basis like I used to. So yeah, that's another thing that I've just been really proud to say, that I've really learned to be more responsible with my money. And a lot of other things. I just feel like I'm just starting to become more of an adult. I think something that I've always kind of been scared of is change, and like the change of becoming an adult. I think that it was like time for me to wake up and be like, you know what? It's time to really tie up those big girl laces. Not that I wasn't doing that before, but I don't think I was pushing myself hard enough to do that. Now that I've obviously like taken responsibility with my own work and my own job, and I think that really helped me kind of like really come into as a person, as an adult. And I have so many bigger goals that I really want to hit. Like, I still obviously want to work in entertainment. I still want to, I think what I realize much more now is that I realize that I actually want to more work in the social media marketing side of entertainment. I thought, like, when I was in school, I really thought I wanted to work in like on set as like a producer or director or something along those lines, but I never really found the passion for that. But I found the passion of like, I guess, storytelling and creativity through social media, and I want to translate that working in entertainment, which I feel like I will get there very very soon, and I have my fingers crossed. So I'm putting that out there in 2025, that hopefully this year we can find more opportunities so I can work in the more entertainment realm. With that being said, I kind of wanted to give you guys a list of my ins and outs of what I'm going to be bringing in to 2025 and what I'm going to be leaving behind. So I'm going to start with the ins. The first one is being more consistent on social media, especially with my podcast, and maybe even possibly hopping back on YouTube. I think I've always said this, but I think I really truly have not been serious about it when I really say that social media has been my passion for a very, very long time. And it only took me like these last 2 years to realize how good at it I am, and how I really need to take advantage of that, because I feel like I had to come to the realization that I myself have been holding myself back. And that's a really hard realization to come to, because it's like I have to sit there and ask these questions myself. Why am I doing that? Because in my head, I'm caring way too much about what people think. I curate my page to make sure it's, maybe hits like a certain target audience, and maybe it's like well curated and tasteful, and I still want to make it that way. But I think that like I could do so much more and show so much more of myself, but I'm holding back because I care way too much what people think or what people might find cringy, XYZ. And I need to seriously step into my I don't give a F era. I I still want to make tasteful content. I still want to be I want to be myself. I really want to talk more in front of the camera, not just show like aesthetic videos. I really want to really show my personal side a little bit more, my personality more. And another thing I really want to be consistent with is obviously this podcast channel. Now, obviously, when it came towards the holidays, I got really, really busy, and I got really busy with client work, because during the holidays, I think it was probably the busiest time. So I literally had no time to sit down and record an episode, even like edit an episode. I actually recorded one episode with my best friend Paulina, which that was an episode I wanted to really edit and like release, but I literally had no time. I still have the episode, and maybe we'll even throw it out into season 2. But I want to get better at just being accountable and being more consistent, because I don't think that I push myself hard enough when it comes to social media. I feel like I could be doing so much more, especially on Instagram. I think on Instagram, I need to like really get out of this rut of like worrying about who's watching and who's going to say what, and just post, because at the end of the day, I don't want to sit there and be like looking at the person next to me who is having the success that I am yearning for, because they're doing what they need to do. They're doing what they should be doing. I'm like, and I should be looking at that. I'm like, why am I not doing that? Like really, I just have to get out of this like mindset, this mental block of just like stop caring. And that's the thing, is because I have to practice what I preach, because this is exactly what I tell my own clients whenever they want to do social media, is like they really just have to get out of their comfort zone, get out of this mental block, and I have to practice what I preach. So it would sound so hypocritical if I wasn't doing the same thing. So yeah, 2025 is going to be my content creator era, like my ultimate content creator era. I'm putting it out there. I want to up my content creation game and push myself harder and not give up, because something that I think would also hold me back was me thinking that it's such an oversaturated world. And I remember even, I think Manana had said this, is I remember like I had a talk with her once, and I would even say like, I don't know if it's like meant for me, because I don't know if like I fit in, because there's so many people out there who want to do social media, and I feel like I'm just one of millions who wants to make it. But she basically explained to me that if you think that way, then will always think then there's too many doctors out there, too many policemen out there, or too many pharmacists out there. There's never not enough of everything. Like there's always room. There's always room for you. That's a really big mindset shift I had in this last year, is like there is room for me, and there is room for you too if you want to do this too. Like or if you think that you feel like there's something that you want to do, but you feel like it's oversaturated and like there's people who are trying to do it, who cares? Like there's never not enough of them. So why not just do it? And why be your worst enemy? Why hold yourself back? So that is something that I really have to take account for, that I am the one that's holding myself back, and I need to stop doing that, because I am literally the person who is holding me back from so many opportunities, because social media has brought me a lot of opportunities, but I could be getting so much more if I just stop holding myself back because of X, Y, and Z. So another in that I'm going to be bringing into 2025 is more home cooked meals. This last like few months, especially after I came back from my summer vacation, I feel like I had kind of fell off of like my home cooked meals. I used to be very on top of my home cooked meals, because I feel like that's just healthier for me. Like it's just, that's my way of fueling my body. And I feel like when I was fueling my body, like whenever I was eating these last few months, it's always been outside food. And I want to just like save that stuff more for the weekend and try to keep during the week learning more recipes. Something that I was like really good and consistent at is like my post-workout meals, because I started eating more protein and implementing more proteins, more home-cooked meals in 2025, and more like outside meals could be for more special occasions. So another thing that I definitely want to bring into is reading/listening to books. Now, I am not somebody who reads books, unfortunately, and I hate that about myself, because I think I just get really easily distracted. I have like really bad ADHD when it comes to reading books. I'm very good at listening to audiobooks. So I love listening to audiobooks. I get through the books faster when I listen to audiobooks. And I had started the ACOTAR series, an amazing series. And so I was actually reading the ACOTAR series, or actually I was listening to the ACOTAR series, especially when I was working and going to school during my long drives to LMU. My drives to LMU were about like an hour to 15-minute drives, so I was binge listening to ACOTAR audiobooks, and specifically I was using this one called Graphic Audio, which literally sounds like a movie when you're listening to it. It's so cool. I highly recommend to anyone who listens to audiobooks, check out Graphic Audio. It's so good. But I had started the third book, and I have not been able to finish it. I haven't found the time to finish it. And I really hate that about myself, because it's such a good series and I've like forgotten so many details, and I hate that about myself, that I haven't been able to finish it. So this new year, I definitely want to be reading/listening to more books. I definitely want to finish the ACOTAR series, because I've seen so many people around me who have finished that series and are talking about it, and like I want to be part of the conversation, because I'm like, I am truly an ACOTAR fan at heart. I love it so much. So yeah, I need to get on my book talk shit. So okay, so another thing that I'm bringing in to 2025 is getting more steps in. I was actually, again, somebody who was really on top of her getting her 10K steps or walks in the morning, and that fell off after I came back from my vacation. Like I was not walking as much, but luckily Jess, who I hope is listening to this, she's my walking buddy. Jess or Amanda, they're both my walking buddies, so I want to be more on top of like my walking and getting my steps in, and having more of a schedule to go when to go walking. So I want to kind of like if they're listening to this, guys, like I really want to go walking again. So if you want, let's make some sort of schedule so we could go walking in the mornings or at nights, whichever one. So getting more steps in, because I feel like those are really, really, really important for my health and for my wellness. So another thing is I'm bringing into 2025 is more patience. Now, I have always been a very patient person, but at times I feel like I would always question like when are certain things going to happen for me. But I've just like learned that God's timing is always right. Like especially in this last year, God's timing is so real and so perfect at times. And that's what I have to just trust, that everything in time. And I really, if something is not happening to me right away, maybe it's not meant for me to happen during that time. Or even sometimes, like even when my social media, like sometimes I like questions like, when is my time gonna come, and when is my breakthrough gonna happen, whatever. Maybe it might not have been this last year, the last 2 years that I've been working on it. Maybe it might be this year, or maybe not. Who knows? But that's also comes with me and with my hard work and work ethic. That's gonna determine when the timing of things will happen. But again, I feel like timing wise, I think everything works out in its own way, in its own path, and I just have to put my trust in that, and just learn to be more patient and patient with others. That's another thing which I've also like learned patience with my parents. I love my parents, but sometimes there was always times where I've like really lose my patience with them when it came to certain things. And I think this year I've learned to really just take a step back, be patient with them, and we'll work through things out, whatever it may be. Okay, and then the last one is I think I'm going to start doing more Pilates versus going to the gym. I still love going to the gym. I love getting a good gym workout, going on the treadmill for a run. But I've also learned that my body just likes some more slow and controlled workouts, like the Pilates workouts versus the gym. I feel like whenever, again, that's another thing. I feel like whenever in the beginning of the year, I was like going to the gym like crazy, and I felt like I was overworking my body, which kind of also led me into my health declining while I was working at my job. But now that I have my own schedule, I can go as I please for whichever day and time I want, which is amazing. Same with the gym. I'll still go to the gym, and I want to make a better schedule for myself when it comes to the gym, because I feel like during the holidays, obviously it very much fell off. I would go to maybe Pilates like twice a week, and that's about it. I was not even going to the gym anymore. But I've learned to like I think my body has learned to like really my body has learned to kind of adapt to the more of slower paced workouts rather than the vigorous heavy lifting, heavy cardio workouts. And so that's whenever I look back at like my photos from like the beginning of last year, when I was like doing crazy cardios and workouts and really pushing my body past its limits, I did not look good. Like I was way more puffier. I just didn't look the best. And whenever I start to slow things down and I just did more slower paced workouts and just doing more walking, you're really listening to your body, and then your body starts to reward you, and then eventually you start seeing the results that you want to see. So now some of the things I am throwing out and leaving behind in 2024. I think I had mentioned this already, but like the mindless spending. I had stopped a lot of the mindless spending towards like the last half of the year, but I want to continue that into 2025. We can't be doing mindless spending, especially when now that I have my own business that I'm working on and I have clients. I got to be responsible for my own finances and learning to be just responsible for my own just being more financially responsible, more mindful when it comes to my spending, and when is the right time to spend and when it's not the right time to spend. So obviously it's been the holidays, and since we've traveled, I've done obviously mindful-ish spending because it's Christmas and I've obviously got to like treat myself. So now when we get back home, we gotta work hard to get our money back. We gotta work hard to get our money back a little bit, but that's okay. So these are the rewards you give yourself, especially during Christmas, for sure. So I'm glad I got to go to Paris and like shop and really get myself nice gifts for Christmas and also gifts for some of my friends. Something that I'm also leaving behind in 2024 is oversharing. I feel like at times, and I think I have like kind of minimalized my oversharing, but I definitely want to again continue that more into 2025. Is sometimes there's certain things that you don't need to tell people. I think there's only a few, like maybe like one or two people you should trust with like your deepest thoughts, deepest things, but like don't share it with everyone because everyone is going to give you like so many different opinions and you're never going to know which one is the right one because at the end of the day, I feel like you should trust yourself and have the conversations with yourself or one other person. And especially if that person went through the same things that you went through and that you're very close to and that you know that are not going to like share it with anybody else. But just the oversharing, also like it's another way of like working in silence. Like don't overshare about like what jobs that you applied for, you're getting interviews for and XYZ or what your plans are basically. Work in silence and your success will be your loudest noise. That's the mentality that I like to go with nowadays because I feel like I always have to like share things about like what's going on as far as like work wise in order to feel validated, but honestly like you don't. You only need to feel validated by yourself and your hard work. And then if people really are proud of you, they will cheer you on. They don't need to be like, "Hey, so like I'm doing this. Like isn't that amazing?" And then you don't need to share those things. People will be happy for you no matter what. Like the only time that I think when it comes to sharing is like when you need some like certain advice because you really truly want something. And you know those people who you need to go to the advice for. I know the people that I need to go to the advice for certain things. But again, keeping it very limited and not sharing it with like too many people because and sometimes like people it's so hard to say. Some people really don't have your best interest at heart. Even the closest people around you don't have your best interest at heart. Like the evil eye is such a real thing. It is such a real thing. And that I think comes with oversharing. Like oversharing your life and that's the thing when it comes to social media that I struggle with is with social media you have to like share a lot about yourself or overshare at times, but I'm trying to find that balance of not sharing too much, still being tasteful, still being mindful, and still making good, amazing, fun, comfort content for everybody. So that is something I need to work on. Okay, this is a big one for me, but food guilt. I've learned that my body does not respond well when I restrict on myself. Even more than like when I'm restricting myself and whenever I'm working out way more than I should, I don't see the results that I want to see. If anything, I look my worst. I look puffy. I don't look like, I don't feel like my body is at its comfort place. I realize like whenever I go on vacations and I'm like enjoying my life and not holding myself back, I look way better. Like I don't understand the math with that, but like I think because I'm not thinking too much about what I'm eating and what I'm putting in my body, but obviously I'm still being mindful because at the end of the day, like I'm not trying to put toxic things in my body, but also you should be able to enjoy your life. So if you want to have a cookie, if you want to have a cake, like I remember in the beginning of the year because we were getting ready to go to my cousin's wedding in Armenia, like I was really restricting myself, but I was not seeing the results. I was literally making home cooked meals. I was not eating any sweets. I was doing all the things that I needed to do in order to look good for the wedding, but my body didn't really change much. And not that I didn't look good on the wedding day, but I felt like if I just was in the mindset that I am now, or like the way I look now and the way my body is now, is exactly kind of what I wanted to look whenever we went to my cousin's wedding in Armenia. But that's okay. Like that's another thing is just like learning to accept that your body changes here and there and it's okay. It's gonna go through fluctuations and it's gonna change and especially at certain ages and obviously I'm 27, my body's not the same as it used to be, not the same metabolism, and that's just like that's just learning to accept that. Putting behind food guilt and letting myself enjoy life. And I've done that especially during this trip. I've gotten to eat such amazing foods, try amazing things, great desserts, especially Florence's food. Oh my God. Florence food has become my favorite food. Obviously, it's Italian food, but they have the best. They're known for their Florentine steak, the best steak you'll ever eat. And their pastas were amazing. Tiramisus, 10 out of 10. Every single restaurant that we went to, all of them, amazing food. And what I loved about Florence is the restaurants there are so casual. You don't need to dress all fancy. You could literally go like in the most casual clothing ever. Didn't have to dress fancy at all. Didn't have to do too much makeup. It was just, and the restaurants are really like compact and cozy. It's not like big, loud, like overstimulated restaurant. It's literally like quiet, cozy, calm. Just it was perfect. I loved Florence so much. It's probably one of my favorite Italian cities that I've ever visited. This next one is my negative mindset of social media. I think it kind of goes back to when I said me thinking that there's no place for me in social media. I think I need, again, that is something that I'm trying to put behind in 2024. I feel like there's always room for whoever wants to do social media, or whoever wants to do some sort of whoever wants to do some sort of like content creation. There's always room for somebody. And having the thought of like, I'm not good at it. Don't have an aesthetically pleasing house. I don't have all these amazing things that to make my content uber super perfect. I think that's another thing that I always feel like I have to make my content like so perfect, and sometimes the most imperfect content do way better than the ones that you put so much effort to make it perfect. Literally, it's like the most annoying thing ever that whenever you do something without, sorry, my sister is like washing up in the bathroom. Whenever you don't try so hard, that's when your videos really take off. But when you're putting so much thought, so much like overthinking to it, that's when it flops. And that's just like something that I just gotta like just kind of really go with ease and not too much overthinking. Stop with the overthinking. Okay, this one is like pretty new that I'm kind of coming to the realization, but low quality clothing. I've realized that some of the clothes that I buy, after a few washes, they don't have the same quality. They don't have the same like, they don't sit well. And I really have to start checking the labels and see like what the quality of the clothing is made out of, because if it's not good quality, why am I purchasing it? If it's going to get washed once or twice and I'm going to toss it out, that's such a waste of money. So really kind of being mindful about the quality of clothes that I'm buying. Especially like, for example, on this trip, I had brought like a Zara trench coat because obviously both Florence and Paris were so cold. But the thing with that trench coat is because it's so like heavy and thick and it's obviously not made of the best quality. Like a lot of lint gets picked up. It's not easy to carry around and travel with. It's not as like foldable as like, let's say, a cashmere like coat. So I finally got a like nice cashmere coat while I was in Paris, and that just kind of made me realize that like I need to start investing into like better quality clothing and not clothing. Sorry, like kind of like Zara's. Like there are like clothes in Zara that are good quality and there are that are not. You just have to like check the labels, but really start investing into better quality clothing and that are gonna last in my closet for a while. Okay, the last one, and this is kind of a crazy one for me to say, but Erewhon. Erewhon is out in 2024. This is kind of like an out of pocket thing, but I only will go to Erewhon if I actually need to. Whether that is like if I want to eat out, but I don't want to eat something unhealthy. That's one reason I'll go. I'm not gonna go there to buy smoothies every week like I used to. There's no point in doing that. I think that Erewhon is more of a treat, not something that I have to go and spending my money on a weekly basis, or to get supplements. Like they have a lot of really amazing like a whole supplement like aisle, but some of them like you could find it at Whole Foods because some of them are so overpriced. So the vibes in Erewhon are great. Love it though. Love going there, love getting myself a smoothie or love getting something from the hot bar, but I don't need to like go on a weekly basis. So those are some of my ins and outs for 2025. And I'm just gonna kind of go through some of my goals that I really really want to hit this year, and I'm really gonna really stick to it, because if I don't, I'm literally gonna like, at that point I'm just gonna be like, you know what, Tati, you can't do it. You this it's your fault. I'm just gonna look in the mirror and be like, this is your fault because you're doing this to yourself. But the one thing I really want to, really a goal that I really want to hit this year is like, I really want to hit 10K on Instagram. I really want to, again, push myself harder on Instagram and get it out of my comfort zone on Instagram, post more and post the content that I basically post on TikTok. I should just be throwing it onto Instagram. And I don't know why I don't do that. It's because I think, on TikTok, I don't know exactly all the people that follow me. I know like who some of my friends slash family who follow me on TikTok, but like on Instagram, I know exactly who follows me, because my following is like, I'm about like 3,800 followers or something like that. But I know at least like 1,000 of them of who's following me. And I think I'm like, oh my God, what are they going to think? I honestly should need to like get that out of my brain. Just get it out of your brain. Don't even think about it. One goal I really want to hit this year is that I've tried to set this goal for myself every single year for the last like 2-3 years, is hit 100K on Instagram. I hit 100K on TikTok. I've been stuck at the 40K-ish mark for a while, and it's just not moved, and it's really frustrating, and it's really debilitating, because that makes you want to give up. Whenever you're not seeing the growth, that makes you want to give up. But I'm just like, patience, Tati. Your timing will come. Just trust in God's timing. That's just all I'm trying to think, is like, God's timing is always right. So if it was not meant to happen in these last 2-3 years, maybe it's meant to happen this year. And I'm really hoping that I will hit. I have to say that. I have to say like that as a manifestation. I will hit 100K on TikTok. It will happen. I also want to see if this year I could try making money through digital marketing. I've seen people make really good income through digital marketing by linking stuff. I gotta be just more on top of that just means to me being more on top of my social media shit, linking things, and like especially through Pinterest, because I realize I've have posts on Pinterest that actually do good, so I could easily make money through that, and I don't know why I don't do that. So making money through digital marketing is definitely a goal that I want to set myself. So going back to like the books, my plan is to read 12 books. So that means one book a month at least. One book a month, 12 books. So I definitely want to finish the ACOTAR series, and then start a new series after that. I have to like reach out to my sources on I have to reach out to my sources on what they think I should start after I finish the ACOTAR series, because I know Sarah J. Maas has a lot of like book series that do a lot of crossovers with the ACOTAR series. So yeah, luckily I have a lot of like book gurus around me that will help me with that. Hopefully I can do more than 12 books. If I do more than 12 books, that'll be amazing. So if I like finish a book like in 2 weeks and I can start a new one, that would be even better. So that means I could like knock out 2 books in 1 month. So we'll see. But so far the goal that I've set for myself is 12 books a year. 12 books in 2025, 1 book a month. Another thing a goal that I set for myself is to learn how to speak French. If everyone knows that I travel to France, south of France, pretty often, and now even Paris. And I really want to learn French. I think that because I've traveled there for so long and for so many years, and even though the place that we go to, there's obviously most people there speak pretty good English, I still want to learn how to speak French, because I don't know, I think it'll just be useful, and I think the people there will find it more appreciative that you are trying to learn their language, because they don't come to America expecting that we speak French. So we can't be going into somebody else's country expecting them to speak English, even though like where we go, because of the tourism that has risen, like in the south of France, they've gotten more people to speak English. But I remember like maybe like 10 years ago, a lot of the people who worked at the restaurants or worked at the beach or whatever could barely speak English or barely understand. So, but at the end of the day, I think I just want to like just learn a new language, because I forgot, like I learned this like fact about like learning different languages, or learning how to speak different languages. I forgot what the fact was, but I think it helps with memory. And something that has really, really worried me is like my short-term memory has been really, really bad lately. And it's starting to like really concern me. So I think learning a new language will help, I guess, with just like your brain cognitiveness, and hopefully that will translate into your better memory. I have a good memory. I have a good long-term memory, but like lately my short-term memory has just not been good, and I don't know why that is. But maybe I just need to pay attention more, and I just need to listen more, and maybe by doing that, just kind of like working, like just maybe just exercising your brain, and by doing that, maybe learning a new language. Big thing that I really want to happen this year is working with like my dream brands, and one of them being Revolve. Revolve is like a dream brand that I've always wanted to work with, and again, that's just gonna come through me and working on my social media and working hard at it. So just working with the brands that I normally like to purchase, more like clothing brands. I work with a lot of like beauty brands, which I'm very happy that I do. But this year I want to work with more like fashion and clothing brands because I'm a fashion girly at heart. So definitely Revolve being one of them, and anything else in between that. On that note, I wanted to see what my sister has to say. Hey Ellen, come here. Come, tell us some of your goals for 2025.
My name is Elena. I'm Tati's sister. And my New Year's resolution is to have no expectations. That's it.
Mic drop. Okay, well, that's a good New Year's resolution, I guess. But anyway, I think this is where we're going to end off the podcast. For anyone who has been supporting me since day one with this podcast, I just want to say thank you, because this is obviously one of my passion projects, is doing this podcast. And obviously, there will be a season 2 that will come out once I situate my schedule this new year. So once I situate that, season 2 will be coming out. I just don't know when, but the wait won't be too long. And with that, I'll have more guests that I'm going to bring on, which I'm really excited for. So stay tuned for that. And I'm really excited for I'm actually really excited for what 2025 is going to bring me. I feel like it's going to bring me a lot of good things, especially when it comes to social media. So I'm really excited for that. And again, I want to thank everyone who listens to this podcast, whether you've been listening to it since Okay Honestly, or if you just started listening to it today, whatever it may be. Thank you for all the support. I really appreciate it. I want to take this podcast to new heights in the new year. I hope that everyone has an amazing new year. I hope you fulfill all your goals. I hope you had an amazing holiday season and just bringing good fortune, good energy, good vibes. I truly hope the best for all that's listening. And with that, this is the end of season 1. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for supporting. I appreciate every single one of you, even if it's just friends and family who are listening. I appreciate every single one of you. Let 2025 be your year. And with that, I will see you guys in the next season. Happy New Year, everybody! Woo! Bye!